wanted to speak about dreams I've had. I've had dreams about being in Noah's Ark, and the floodwaters were going to rise and rise. And, people were distressed. And some people were just like, they didn't care that the floods were rising. It didn't dawn on them that they were going to be killed in it. But, you know, as the waters rose, the boat rose, and I could have got out of the boat and drowned. I mean, it has nothing to do. I'm going to say this straight off. The story about Noah's Ark has nothing to do with the rapture theory. I've taught on this before because Noah's boat took the wrath as it fell all the way around and on top of the boat. And the boat was only lifted up because of that wrath that God poured out on the earth. So as the wrath increased, the boat ascended. The boat didn't fly up out of the earth. It stayed in the wrath. And it just stayed above it. And that's how God will separate the wheat from the chaff. The wheat from the chaff is because those who are not in repentance and in the covenant with God are going to be taken by the floods. Because they're going to be taken by evil spirits, seducing spirits, murdering, thieving, raping, fornicating, adultering, all different kinds of hate spirits, just all different kinds of evil spirits will drown them because they're not repenting, they're not in the covenant with God. And that's what the ark represents. But I've had these dreams, and I've had the dreams where the top was off too, of the ark, or points where God was telling me to build a boat, and I've seen the water rise all the way up till it covered everything, and there were still people alive. Some of them were in the water. They didn't drown because they weren't giving up. They were enduring until the end. So what I'm saying is, a lot of you are interpreting your dreams around. It's just like the Antichrist. I've had dreams about Obama too. But I've also had dreams where the Pope was the Antichrist. And I've had dreams where someone of a foreign descent. And it was just different ways the Spirit was trying to express how the Antichrist's nature will be. It wasn't saying in particular Obama was the Antichrist or the Pope was the Antichrist. It was just different descriptions of... See, a president is representative like a king. And a king is someone... And in Daniel it speaks about the horns being his kings. And the little horn is nonetheless a king too. And the Pope is a symbol of false religion, but at the highest level. Like Paul explained, that the Antichrist will come with all power, signs, and lying wonders. But a lot of you are taking your dreams literal. And, who's to say that some of these aren't the Antichrist or have an Antichrist spirit? You're still teaching false doctrines because you don't know for sure. You're trying to make yourself out to be a prophet because you're trying to say, well, you wait and see when I'm right, then you'll know that I had the word of the Lord in me. Well, you might not have the word of the Lord because you might be interpreting your dreams wrong, because like I said, I've seen multiple natures being expressed as the Antichrist. Paul said that he won't be revealed except there come a falling away first. And a lot of you are thinking that the falling away has come already, but no, it's not. Because Paul was talking to a church during that time that was able to walk in the miracles almost constantly, casting out devils, laying hands on the sick, raising the dead. He was talking to a church at that height and level. The church didn't die off during Paul's time or fall asleep. They did fall asleep. They didn't fall away. The apostles in that church died off. They didn't fall away. And no church has risen back to that same level. For there to be a falling away, there has to be an ascension. There has to be, the church has to wake back up to that first level. It's just like these dreams people are having about two moons, or I've had them dreams too. But I didn't interpret it as the rapture theory. Every one of these dreams, people are trying to wrap it around the rapture theory. The rapture theory is not in the Bible. Paul didn't teach that we're going to disappear before the tribulation. He taught dying to himself and going through the baptisms of Christ. He said, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, into the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. He didn't say till we're all raptured out of here, because that means it doesn't matter what level you come to in Christ, you're just going to all be raptured here at the same time. And he never said that. He never said that we'd just disappear out of here. He said we had to go through the baptisms of Christ. That means it's not until you went through that last baptism, death to self, are you going to be perfected. And a lot of you think, well, we'll be perfected right when we're raptured. No, you won't. It doesn't work like that. The Word doesn't say that. That's why the rapture theory and what Paul talked about being caught up are not the same thing. So how you're interpreting your dreams is very dangerous because you're lying to people. You're leading them astray, and you're going to be held accountable for that. And I'm trying to warn you. God bless.